If you are watching this video, then that means that you made it to 2021. Congratulations. I'm still unfortunately stuck here in 2020. Somebody help me, get me out of here. This has been the worst year of my life and I just can't escape it. And I've decided to start doing a whole new series here in Las Vegas where we have recently moved. More in the very first video that I did for more information on that. The first video that we did was in the New York, right back over here behind me. And this one is going to be another one of my favorites, the Excalibur. Alright, immediately in this video, I just got to point out this little hut over here. I think this is just absolutely adorable. Then again, I just kind of love the overall aesthetic of it, the whole Knights of the Round Table castle experience thing that they've got going on here. And it continues like this inside. The inside is really super nice. I think you guys are going to like it. Come along!
Viva, Viva, Las Vegas.
Look at this beautiful chandelier and architecture. Oh, I just love it so much. I really just love like the architecture and the design, the details of this place. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Look at these windows over here. I love stained glass, love it. And because it's Christmas right now, you have all sorts of Christmas ornaments around. Well, at least it was Christmas like 3 days ago, but not for you guys. You guys are 2021 now. Congratulations. I love the chess architecture. Oh, it's just so beautiful. These are interesting little stores. They're called the Pearl Factory, and you see them kind of all over Vegas. Every now and then you'll see them in different casinos and whatnot. And what they do is they have actual oysters in that little bucket there. Basically, you just crack it open and keep whatever pearl happens to be inside of it. There could be all sorts of different colors. There could be 2 pearls, there could be 3. It just depends on the oyster, and it's like 16 bucks to crack it open. And then if you want to put that in a necklace or a ring or something, then you just pay for the jewelry on top of that. My family did it a whole lot with both of the times that I've been here. So there's your main entrance, and then just to the left of that here is Dick's Last Resort and Dick's Stuff. But then you just stick over here to the sides, and this is where you'll find all of your bars, your shops, things like that. Anything in the middle is just going to be more casino. So stick to the outsides if you're not wanting to gamble. Go towards the middle if that's what you're wanting to do. So coming down this hallway, that's where Dick's was, and then coming over here, there's like a Baja Fresh. And this is where like the resort towers are, so when you're going to be staying in a hotel, that's where you'll go. Literally just to the right of the entrance. Coming from the tower entrance, over here to the left, you have the lounge, which is a pretty nice looking lounge. I'd love to come here and listen to some live music, maybe have a drink or two. So that red light all the way down there, that's where the lounge was. There really wasn't anything important on that row. Coming down here, you have a Starbucks. 2 videos, 3 Starbucks. What's the score, folks? Let's rock. Starbucks back that way. Coming over here, you have the Vagabond. Drink, eat, play. So it's just another bar, typical kind of not really dive bar, but dive bar. All right, let's talk entertainment at the Excalibur. So first of all, you have the Australian Bee Gees. So these guys here, they're a tribute to the Bee Gees band, if you happen to know your 70s disco. Then these shirtless gentlemen over here are your Thunder from Down Under. You got your Wolverine looking types. They're gonna dance for your ladies. Next you have a nice little spa. You gotta call and make reservations to get yourself pampered. And then this is one of my favorite shows in all of Las Vegas right here, the Tournament of Kings. It is a cool show. If you get a chance and you have enough money to do it, go see this show. Because first of all, you get dinner. Dinner is real good here. It's like a chicken, rice, vegetable type of thing. It's real good, like a whole chicken. And you can have beers and drink, and then you watch these people jousting on horses, and then there's a whole story behind it and everything. It's a really cool show. So the area that you get put into is the area that you're supposed to root for, right? I think I got put into Austria the first time I saw it, and I rooted for the Austrian guy, like crazy. It is a lot of fun, as long as you're willing to put in the effort of it, If you're willing to put in the effort, it's a great show. Go see it. So this is unfortunately going to be a very short video because they've closed off a lot of the casino. Downstairs, which has so much good stuff, is completely and totally closed off. So I'm not going to get to show you any of that today, but there's a lot of cool stuff down there. There's a whole arcade for kids down there, all of your shows down there. It's a great place downstairs, and unfortunately I'm not going to get to show you today. Hopefully it gets better. So one more thing I wanted to show you guys, just outside of the Excalibur, there's a tram system, and this goes from the Mandalay Bay down, I want to say, to the Hilton, but it encompasses several of the casinos around here. It was kind of a failed experiment, to be honest with you. The thing is, like, the tram's actually kind of expensive, surprisingly more expensive than you would anticipate. And so with that, I don't know why they didn't continue to every single casino. Maybe every casino just didn't have an opening for it or something. I don't really know. But anyway, it doesn't go all the way down. Like, it doesn't reach to the Stratosphere. Stratosphere is the farthest north casino on the strip. Main casino anyway. Hey, here he comes right up. So I just had sort of a weird experience, and I don't really know what to think about it. And so I kind of want to ask you guys maybe what you thought. I'm crossing this bridge right there, heading back towards my car, and there's a dude standing there, got his hoodie up, and he's talking in Bluetooth earbuds, which I don't see because he's got his hoodie up, so I thought he was just talking to maybe somebody else on the bridge, but he wasn't. And I hear him say, hey, he's coming now, he's got his lights on. And I look down the road, and there's a police officer coming down the road, lights on. And I'm not talking like the blue and red flashing lights, I'm talking about like big bright white lights on the top. And so I'm looking at it, and then all of a sudden this big military helicopter pops up over. Big military helicopter's got a gun on it and everything. And it flies over at the same time that this cop with his lights on is coming down the road. And so it sounds like the guy on the bridge knows what's going on. So I ask him, hey, what's going on? Is there somebody important coming, or the cops looking for somebody? I don't know. I've been inside these casinos. I have no clue. He goes, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know. Sounds like he knows what was going on. Didn't want to say. Also kind of looked really sketchy, like maybe he was a criminal or something and helping out his other criminal buddy. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment. So I felt kind of bad about the way that Excalibur video ended, and I figured I would do a little bit more at the end, kind of turn it into a blog a little bit, tell you guys kind of more about why we're here, what we're planning on doing, why we came here, what was it that led us to come to Vegas in the first place. So let's talk a little bit about that. I've lived in a couple of places in my life. The first being Portland, Oregon, where I was born. And then I've lived in like the metropolitan area around Portland. So Gresham, Beaverton, Vancouver, just kind of that kind of stuff. And I lived there most of my life, with the exception of a 2-year stint in England, where I got my master's degree in theater, and a 6-month stint in Orlando, Florida, where I was working for Disney. Other than that, I've pretty much lived in Portland my entire life. And while it's a nice place, I don't want to spend all of my life there. I don't want to have kids there and raise them there and make them be stuck in Portland as well. Don't get me wrong, I love the people there, and I think Portland's a nice area, but there's a lot of things about it that just aren't me. I like entertainment, for example. I like to be entertained. I like to entertain. And I just don't feel like Portland has the entertainment value that they claim to have. You go to a place like New York, Chicago, Orlando, Vegas, LA, those are entertainment areas of America. Portland has some kind of theater stuff, but it's mostly community stuff. None of the actors get paid. Only people that get paid are the people that own the business. And even that, there's a reason why they don't pay their actors, because they can't afford to. Other than that, I don't really feel like there's anything to do in Portland. There's decent food and some shops, but what else? Anything that's of entertainment comes and goes. There was a place that I loved to go as a little kid called Malibu Grand Prix. It was a go-kart place with some, video game consoles and whatnot that they had there. Real nice place to go. Doesn't exist anymore. They've had Wonderlands, the little nickel arcades. Those don't exist after a while. I think there's still one in Gresham and one in Hillsborough, but the one in Vancouver's gone. I don't even know about the one in northeast Portland or whatever. Yeah, just like anything of entertainment value disappears. Whereas you come here to Vegas, everything is about entertainment. Everything is. And yeah, there's lots of shopping and lots of food and stuff here too, but there's so much to do here, and I'm so excited to be able to do it all. Well, maybe not all of it, but some of it. I want to see shows. I want to drive go-karts. I want to go to arcades. I want to visit national landmarks and monuments and see beautiful architecture and all of that kind of stuff. And so that's why we moved to Vegas first. And then as we started looking into going here, my wife got accepted into the Southern Nevada College or something like that, to be a elementary school teacher. And she'll be an elementary school teacher with just an AA in like a year. And then I started looking into being a teacher in Nevada, just in case like this doesn't work out, I can be a teacher. I looked into that, and with my master's degree, I can go back to school, and it'll be another 2-year master's degree that I have to get. However, after my first semester, I can get a teaching job while being a student. So it's called being a student teacher, something that I couldn't do in Washington. And I didn't really look too much into Oregon because I didn't really want to drive into Oregon every day to go to school. But ironically, it's about the same distance to go into UNLV here from where I currently live as to go into Portland. But that's besides the point. I can get a teaching job 3 months after starting that program. And so I will already be making decent amount of money as a teacher while finishing up that program. In Washington State, I would just have to go to school for another 2 years to get my master's degree. Actually, it would be even more than that because I would have to get my bachelor's in teaching first. I don't know why Washington is so strict that my master's degree doesn't skip over the bachelor part of it. No, they would make me go to school for 4 years to become a teacher. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So that's the other reason why we moved here, is to become teachers if something like this doesn't work out. I'm not planning on this working out, but it would be nice. If you guys like me well enough and you want to see more of these videos, I can make that happen. And we can explore Vegas together. But you guys have to subscribe, you have to like, you have to comment. So let's talk a little bit about Vegas, what I've discovered since moving here. One thing that I love about Vegas is the atmosphere, and not just like the look and overall aesthetic of Vegas, but the weather as well. I love the weather around here. It is currently end of December, and I barely have to wear a sweater. I hate being cold. I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. It makes me jittery and panicky, and I have trouble sleeping, and my hands clam up and freeze. Like I literally can't move my hands when I get cold. And that's like 20-degree weather. Whereas around here, the lowest we've had it has been like 35, which is still pretty low. But for somebody that's coming from Portland, Vancouver area, that's nothing. We had 20-degree weather during the winter there constantly. It even got down to the 10s sometimes, but not very often. So yeah, I'm used to being cold, and coming down here, I don't even have to wear like a big heavy coat. It's not windy down here very often, and when it is, it's not like a cold wind, So I like that. Another thing that I like is the way that they have set up this city. It's an absolutely brilliantly thought of commute. All of their streets are done well, with the exception of like 1 or 2 things. They have a freeway system that goes all around Las Vegas. It goes in a perfect circle all around it, and there's several different freeways that cut off from there and whatnot, but it keeps traffic low. This is the worst traffic that I've had since moving here. You know what I mean? And we're not even going slow. I'm just putting along. I'm going 35 right now, which is what the speed limit is when traffic is slow. But yeah, we're not bumper to bumper. We're not stop and go. This is just a nice little easy drive, right? And then you get into where you're off of the freeways, and you'll come across a lot of roundabouts. I love roundabouts. I've lived in England for 2 years. I got used to roundabouts. They are much better than stop signs. Oh my God, America doesn't have something perfect. And then like you'll get to an area where one side of it will have a turn, and then you'll have like a main thoroughfare coming, so parallel or perpendicular, that's the word. So you have a perpendicular to a main thoroughfare, but you don't have another entrance on this side. And so what they'll do is they'll set up a divider line that keeps 2 lanes just going constantly. They don't have to stop at the light there. And then they'll have 1 lane that stops for the light in case they need to turn or whatever. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot of things that are really nicely laid out here. And this area is expanding really big. Like, it is just expanding and expanding and expanding. I think there's 3 million people that live in Clark. But yeah, it's just continually expanding because this is a growing community, growing area. Now, here's something I don't like. The drivers around here are garbage. Absolute garbage. And you know that they're garbage based on how expensive insurance is. Insurance is just terrible around here. The minimum insurance for me and my wife, $250. $250. I've seen it up to $500 as well for the minimum of, I think that was Allstate. Allstate was like $500 just for the minimum. You know, if you wanted to get all coverage, total comprehensive and everything, then you'd have to pay like $1,000 a month for insurance. And that might not be a lot to a lot of people around here because there's a lot of business owners and a lot of people that have a lot of money. But to somebody like me who just moved here, that's so much. I was paying $80 back in Vancouver. $80 a month for me and my wife. And it just multiplied by 4 almost. So yeah, that's the thing that probably irritates me the most around here. Also, during this pandemic, people in this town refuse to wear their masks properly. They refuse to social distance, and they would much rather let people die than to let the economy die. Make of that what you will. I'm not going to get political with it, but that's something that irritates me. Wear your mask. Wear your mask, and wear it properly, not under your nose, not over your left eyeball, not on top of your forehead. Wear it over your face. It keeps you safe, and it keeps me safe. Alright, sorry, enough rant about that. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with us. We moved here for a chance at a better life. It's a lot less expensive here to live in an apartment. We were paying $1,600 a month in Vancouver, Washington for an apartment. Here we're only paying about $1,000. I've seen them even cheaper. I've seen one as cheap as like $650 a month. Granted, that's not a great area of town, but it exists. But yeah, other than that, I think we're doing okay. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you watching this video. Again, comments in the comment section. Like it if you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your day.